Welcome back to the podcast where we ask the question, what makes you happy? Our guest today is a blogger and a mum from the United States. We have Cristal Ibarra. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm pumped to have you here and talk about the things that bring you a little bit of joy in your day-to-day life. Cristal, what are some of the things that bring you happiness in your day-to-day life?
Well, I wish I could say that I was always happy, but that would be a lie. And it wasn't until my husband was diagnosed in late 2018 with a very rare and aggressive type of cancer that I really started to just look at life differently. I know everybody looks at happiness differently. It looks different to everybody, but I guess for me and my family, we had to make some changes. And we knew it was terminal when he was diagnosed, and it wasn't until that point that I wanted to make the rest of his life the best of his life. So we worked together on a bucket list, and, through doing all of those things, it just made me appreciate things a little differently, the little things. And I could say now what makes me happy could be anything from that first sip of coffee to sitting, in the driveway after a long day of work, and I'm sitting in the car just by myself listening to music. Listening to music is very therapeutical for me. And so I really enjoy doing that. But for the most part, I think after my husband passed away in early 2020, I still continued to work on his bucket list. And that really, fills my soul up and makes me happy. My kids, they have a little bit of dark humor, I would say. And so we usually just joke and make fun of each other most of the time. They're usually just, talking about each other to each other. But it's all in good fun. Like nothing disrespectful, but just sitting there listening to them makes me happy.
Yeah, that little healthy little banter back and forth. And
exactly, that's what banter. Yes.
Yeah, and you step in just before it might not go too far. Hey, don't say that. But what would your advice be to our listeners then to find a little bit of happiness in their lives? Is it to create a list? Is it to appreciate the little moments? How can they appreciate the little moments in their life? What's your take?
Don't wait for something tragic in your life to happen. In my case, something huge had to happen for me to just reevaluate life and how to view things differently. And, people shouldn't wait for something like that to happen. They should just learn to appreciate life. And, sometimes it takes a village to do that. And meaning, surround yourself around more positive people that, are happy. You're the company that you keep. So I think that's important to be around, people that will bring you up, versus, bringing you down.
Couldn't agree more. And I love that. It takes a village sometimes. Beautiful. I'd actually never heard that one before. So that really resonates with me as well. So just a different take on surround yourself with the people that make you the most happiest. It takes a village. Cristal, This has been my pleasure to share the things that make you happy and your insights into your personal life and the lessons that you've learned along the way, in hopes that you could lift up somebody else's day-to-day life and help them find what makes them happy. So we all really appreciate your time here.
Yeah, I will say that the best thing about having a bad day is, at the end of the day, tomorrow's going to be a new day. So, you can wake up and decide to make that day a little better than the one before.
I think that's where we'll end it. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Cristal. Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. We hope it gives you something to think about on your quest to discover what makes you happy. Make sure to check out whatmakesyouhappypodcast.com to connect with today's guest and follow us on all our social media platforms, and to stay up to date at what's happening next at What Makes You Happy. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend, and we'll see you next time.